I want to talk to you today, this morning, about a duplicatable creed. When I first got started in the industry, I remember hearing this top mentor in the industry. He was just great. I mean, he was operating within a very difficult company, within a very difficult compensation plan, and he was making it happen. Not only was he making it happen, he was making it happen at the highest level. And I remember hearing a training from him that just blew my mind, because he had fourth grade education. Imagine that, fourth grade education. He had to leave school at fourth grade to help out his family, and you don't hear those stories very often. My grandfather left school at the third grade as well. He had no shoes, and they were making fun of him, so he never went back to school. But you hear those stories, in the 60s, 50s, and 40s, and even 30s. You hear those stories of young men that never finished school, and he was one of them. And and this top leader in the industry, his name is Ivan. He I remember hearing a training from him that just blew my mind, and I kind of replicated that training for you. And I want to just let you hear some of his words, and I kind of adapted it to us, the training, but they are his words. So in honor of someone who had a high impact in my life, I want to share with you some information that was just absolutely just wonderful to hear from him. So here we go. I'm gonna go share with you, and at the time he called it the Diamonds Creed, and so this is a few things that he reminded us in the culture. He says, he got on stage and he's talked about. He said, "As a leader, I put paycheck in my team hands. I understand if I get my team pay, I will always get pay." And our industry is predicated in helping other people. And then, isn't that a beautiful thing, though? I mean, it attracts a lot of people who are, I would say, well personality, that personality that is phlegmatic, that we want to make a contribution in other people's lives. And so, to me, it's when I first saw this, of course, and this is what happens when you have a Latin team that calls you all the time. Yeah, so let me see. I'm gonna quit this right here, stop this, and come back to sharing. Give me just a second, guys. Um, yes, one moment. There we go. Give me just a moment. And I gotta put my phone do not disturb. There you go. My phone is always ringing, and it's a great. I feel blessed for that. Let me see. Here we go. Bum. Okay, and we get started again. Okay, we're black this time. So it's predicated on helping other people. It's predicated that if you help enough people get what they want, you get everything they want. Isn't that what Zig Ziglar taught us a very long time ago? He said you can have everything in life that you want if you help enough leaders get what they want. So as you are going out there and building a business, understand that as a leader, I put paycheck in people's hands. Understanding that if I take care of the paychecks of my team, my paycheck will always be taken care of. Here's the next one. He spoke. Ivan spoke to me about always supporting, but always about a culture, about how to deal with the business, how to I show up in my business. And I remember him saying this. As a leader, I support my new business partners by helping them connect people to the opportunity through strategic meetings. I guide them through their contact list, and I work alongside with them to make calls and confirm appointments, ensuring to gain momentum from day one. And one thing that Ivan taught me was that when you work with people, everybody is brand new, and when you're having that brand new individual, that brand new and just to know what to do, doesn't know what how to make calls. He says, so you got to be with them. He said, David, you got to be with them, sit down with them. Not only you have to sit down with it, you got to develop yourself because sometimes when you're brand new yourself, and if you're brand new yourself, and you have a brand new person, automatically that's a very big sense of responsibility. You got started today, and 2 days from now you have your brand new person, business partner joining your team. It elevates you, and it should inspire you for you to become better for starters, but it's also understand that this is a business. So you want to sit down with your new people and talk strategic meetings, have a strategic meeting and just say, hey, here's what we're going to do in the future. Here's what we're about to plan. Here's the next move for us. What is your goals too? What are you trying to accomplish? And let's go ahead and meet up with someone. Maybe if you're brand new, you meet up with your upline diamond and your upline support team, who's your next leader above, which we have in this call. Everybody here has an upline diamond you can meet up with and start talking about strategic meetings for you to go out there and start ensuring to gain momentum from day one. And we have some of the best leaders in the industry that I've ever met are with us right now within this organization, and some more are coming in, and more are being developed within our culture. My mentor said to me, he says, as a leader, I help my new business follow up with their people. Uh, we don't leave a the exposures just for your new people. Your new people sometimes just they don't know how to follow up. They don't know what the next thing. And there's so many forms of great follow-ups, right? As I after 25 years in this industry, I can pinpoint what to do and what to follow up. Some people need to try the product. Some people need another video. Some people need to talk to another leader. Some people need to do something else. But depending on what they need, some people just need all of them, to be honest. Some people it takes 5, 10, yes, 7 follow-ups for someone to get started in the business. Each time gaining a little confidence, gaining a little more for them to get started and for them to feel good that this is the right opportunity for them. You got to realize this business isn't it's like a marriage. You're picking a business where you're investing your time in, and that time that you're investing is time away from other opportunities that you have in your life. So this is something that we don't take it lightly. So let's help. We as a leader, I help my business partners follow up with their people and don't just leave it for themselves. As a leader, I ask myself how many personal contacts I'm making this week because I lead from the front. This is something that Ivan, my mentor, used to share this with me. He said that he used to tell me that, David, the speed of the pack is speed of the leader. That if you the moment you get off of phase one recruiting, meaning you're constantly phase one is where you're constantly acquiring new business partners, you're constantly going out there prospecting, renewing your list, having the eye of looking for business and actively going out there and looking for business and prospecting for business and building relationships. All this, he says, is phase one. He said, don't never get off of phase one, David. He said, the moment you go into management mode, what ends up happening, and everything you do here duplicates. And eventually you're going to be duplicating a team of managers versus a team of go-getters. And that was the word that he used, go-getters. He said, you want a team of go-getters, people that are going out there and sharing 15, 20 business partner, 20 personal business presentations for themselves on a monthly basis. So as a leader, I ask myself, how many personal contacts am I making this week? Because I lead from the front. As a leader, I'm at every event, every conference call. I promote the call and the training events like my life and production depends on it because it does. I understand that the events raise vision, belief, and support of my team. This was huge for my mentor. My early mentor, he was so clever on top of that. He used to create friendly competitions between us where friendly competitions where he used to call me and say, "Hey David, how many people do you have for the upcoming event that's coming in 2 weeks?" He said to me, and I said to him, "Well, I have 18 confirmed tickets sold to that event." And he said, "Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Great job, David. Great job. Juan over here, I just called him and he has 25." but 18 is good for you, David. And I remember, and even though I knew what he was doing, that he played into my competitive nature. And obviously I love Juan. Juan was a good friend of mine. He was not, it was friendly competition, but he created competition for us to bring people to the events. And it was very fun to work like that because I knew when that call came in and he told me, "Oh yeah, Juan got 25, and you got 18." And when he said to me, for you, David, 18 is good. And I was like, for me, no, 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 no. For me, I'm 25. I'm 30. Forget that. 18 is not good for me. My mind was what automatically stepped up to the challenge. He did that because for my own benefit. He did that because he understood that the more people I have at the event, the more duplication I will have in my business. And the further motivated team I will have that will create production and create paychecks within the organization. He was very, very clever about that. He was. As a leader, I never show fear, anger, doubt, or frustration to my team. People follow strength and confidence, not weakness. My mentor was very keen on this too, where I remember one time he we went into a meeting, and in that meeting, he brought a stack of cash, like a big, real big stack of cash. And I don't know, it was like maybe $10,000 in cash. It was like big, big blob of cash. And he pulled it out in the meeting, giving a training and an example. Well, we had a guy there that got offended, like got real offended. He was a professional as well. He came from money. So he went to the person that invited him and told him all the horrible things about my mentor. Said why was he do that, how tacky that is, and how everything in between. He told him, I mean, a lot of bad things he said. My mentor was very cool and smooth about it. He said, why don't we give him a meeting, and I would love to hear him out. So we did that, and he heard him out, and the guy and I was in the meeting and hearing and the guy was talking about all the reasons why that was unprofessional and why, hey, you did that, and if I would have brought my professional friends from my industry, they would have been offended, and you would have cost me my business. You know what my mentor said? He says, "Thank you so much for telling me. I asked for forgiveness for offending you." He said, "Thank you, because of people like you, our industry can grow and today I became a better person." That was his response. No ego whatsoever. And I remember talking to him and say, "Hey, I personally didn't get offended. I didn't think that was that bad. In fact, when you pulled out that big block of money, it motivated me." And we said, David, he said to me, "David, do you wanna make money or do you want to be right?" I said, "I want to make money." He goes, "Then let other people be right." And he was so smooth about these things. Very, very, almost like it was something like nothing could touch him. He was untouchable when it came to fear, anger, doubt, frustration. It was like that nothing of that could penetrate him, and he never showed it to me. He never showed it to the team. He never showed weakness. I remember after hearing that, man, I'm obviously, many, many years later, I'm still talking about him, right? I mean, I was 18 years old when this happened, and I'm 43. I'm 43 this year, and I'm still talking about him. That left this such a big impression in me when I saw him, how he handled that situation. As a leader, he said, "I inspect what I expect." He said, if you're going to a meeting, he was very big on this. He was like, you gotta inspect what you expect. Yeah, if you're going to a meeting and you're driving 20 miles, 15 miles, or an hour or 2 hours, and someone's gonna say to you they're gonna be there and they're gonna have 5, 10 people, you better respect that. You better make sure that that is what's happening by helping them confirm meetings. If you're setting an appointment, and this appointment, let's assume, and this person say, "I'm going to fill up the Zoom with 50 people," and they've never done any type of this type of industry before. You already got to assume that, hey, I'm going to help this person. So he said, as a leader, I inspect what I expect. He was always very efficient when it came to his time. His time was very, very, very efficient. And this was part of it. This is part of the principle of inspect what you expect. He said, as a leader, I'm always positive and solution oriented. I create vision, belief for my team. Ivan was a very unique individual. I told you he never finished. He finished he only finished fourth grade. By the fifth grade, he had to drop out of school to go to work to help his family, his sisters, and support his family. And on the way to Diamond, and he was as he was building his company, on the way to Diamond, his car got repossessed. He lost his car because what ended up happening was he had an option. There was a convention that was gonna happen in Puerto Rico, and the convention, the ticket at that time, remember this was in the 90s, and the convention ticket was still about $300 in the 90s. Imagine that. He sold. So what he did, he didn't pay his car and he didn't pay several months of his cars because he needed the money to go to the convention because for him and his wife, a hotel and everything in between. So they ended up repossessing his car for him being in that convention. So he started building the company, going through a bus system, where he just goes through a bus and in public transportation. That's what they call it here, I believe. So but when he was just early getting started, he went up to his upline support team, his upline leader, and he said to them, I just lost my car, but me and my wife are extremely motivated and extremely excited. His upline, Ivan's upline leader, was like, "Whoa, look at this guy! Unreal, what this guy is, unbelievable." But he understood that my current circumstances did not define my future. And he constantly was letting us know that your current circumstances do not define your future. So always, and it helps to always have a positive solution oriented attitude. This creates vision for your team. He goes, if I had a negative attitude about losing my car, that would drop me down there. I couldn't now. It would not allow me they have the ability to give vision and belief for my team because I cannot give something that I don't have. Ivan was very unique about that. My mentor said also said, as a leader, I care for my team and build relationships. I understand the truth that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. I added that part, but he was constantly calling us, asking us how are we doing, what's new in your life. He knew things that they just he knew things about. I felt that he cared for me. I felt that he truly wanted to know about my life. And this created this loyalty for him that I wasn't just in the business I was in, I was in the business for him as well. And it's hard to describe that. It's hard to describe because yes, I had a mission. He touched me in many different ways. He touched me in a way where he casted a vision. So now I'm committed because of the vision. He touched me in a personal way, committed in my own personal vision. There's a vision for the company. There's a personal vision for myself, but then there's a personal relationship with him where I did not want to let him down, where I was like, I'm here with you. Wherever you go, I will go, and we're going to do this together. And he was so good at touching my heart and just understanding me. And I felt understood in the things that I wanted to do. So, this right here is key. It's to care for your team and build relationships. Call them and speak to them. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. This Ivan was really very again, I explained to him my mentor was very organized. And he followed a chain of solution. He says, as a leader, I follow a chain of solution to create a proper duplication in my team. You see, whenever he used to he used to tell us that if you have a team of 1,000, 2,000 people, it's not possible for you to serve 2,000 people. In those days, we had beepers, and we had a beeper, but we also had a pay phones and home phones. I don't know if, I mean, some of you remember home phones where you have a cord. right? Or the little dial thing that the little dial, if you mess up one number, you have to start all over again. How many times? I don't know if you guys ever anybody experienced that. I know I did. So rotary phones, yes, that's the one. Thank you, Narita. So being on the phone was something that we built our business on. We built our business. If we got lost going to a meeting, guess what? We were using a payphone. We stopped at a gas station and used these have quarters available so you can use the phone. When we were making calls to call our people as well. We make calls and a payphone as well, and that was the cell phone, a payphone. But what I'm saying is the technology back then was very limited to how many people we can get to. So you had to become a very efficient and a duplicatable system to follow this chain of solutions, where people not everybody will came to you. I mean, can you imagine having a team of 5,000, 10,000 people and 10,000 people calling you every single day, reaching out to you when they need something? It's not very duplicatable. It's not freedom for sure. So he was very good at teaching us, hey, you got to follow the chain solution. Yes, we had access to Ivan, but with many things, I was always talking to my person that sponsored me or the person that sponsored that person as well. And I had the chance to still talk to Ivan and talk to my mentor in a lot of group settings and and in times different calls that we did. But it was one of those things that he was very good at creating this. So, in your organization, in this organization, you got to realize that there's a chain of solutions to create the proper duplication. And this is for you. Trust me on this one, that this is for you to create the proper duplication for your business so you can have the right type of duplication. My mentor said, and he said this to me. He says, as a leader, I guide my team with a clear strategic plan of action to help them build a successful business. This focused approach sets the stage for a strong launch as we kick off new affiliates partners and journey. So Ivan was very good at sitting down with people and doing a pre-launch before the launch, where he sit down with people and he asked them questions and got to know them, and really got a commitment out of them and understood how serious they were about the business, understood in a scale from 1 to 10 how motivated they were, then he got that out of them. And then after that, he got a launch schedule where in those days it was no there was no Zoom, of course. It was just having a home meeting. So we schedule their home meetings and we schedule a time to help that person invite to the home meeting. So the pre-launch was to get the commitment, to get the dream out of them, why the goals, and start helping people invite to their home meeting by giving them a strategic ways for them to be able to reach out to people. So um, this right here was something that I apply in my business, and when I worked every time I work with someone new, I like to help them as much as possible, and of course you can only work to the degree that a person to the degree that the person is willing to go out there and work, right? So, but Ivan was my mentor was very, 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 very good at this, where he got the commitment in the pre-launch. What is the pre-launch? And asking them questions about their dreams, their goals, what motivates them, what inspires you about this, and from there created the launch. And he was so good at that. That pre-launch meeting to a launch meeting was such a key thing for our business. As a leader, I remain fully coachable. I actively seek guidance, not for validation, but to refine my skills and to elevate both myself and my business. I'm driven by a deep hunger for personal growth and continuous improvement. Ivan was always very good at this too. He was good at telling us that our talking about personal growth. One of his favorite books was How to Win Friends and Influence Other People. He's he said that book right there taught him the people skills. Of course, he didn't have a formal education, but he was a master and he had a doctor's degree in people skills. He wasn't probably recognized by society, but he was recognized by anybody they knew him. And he remained always hungry to learn. I mean, he was always constantly promoting books. Every week, he was always talking about a new book to his team. Every month, he was talking about a new leadership book or something. He was always showing us the books that he was reading, teaching us by example why we should be reading afterly books. And I remember I wanted to be like this man. So early on, the first book I bought when he talked about it was How to Influence and Influence Over People. And the first rule in How to Influence to Win Over People, Dale Carnegie says, do not criticize, condemn, or complain. And Ivan used to say, he used to joke around. He used to joke around and says, now what we're going to talk about, because that's all we do. And so, and he was always quoting that book, always just referencing, and not just that book, but he was always referencing books, letting us know and teaching us that personal growth and continuous improvement was part of his values. And I wanted to, in many ways, just be like this man, and the whole team wanted to be like him. So they were inspired by him, and we created this personal development culture within the organization where we're always finding books and sharing books. We created even there was even a book club that was created from that every single month there was a book that the organization read together. And it was such a powerful thing to do. Maybe we can maybe replicate that here. I think that'll be fun to do that. So so in closing, I would tell you, my friends, that there are this leader has such an impact in my life. I'll tell you the story. Before he passed away in a car accident that just, let me tell you, he touched a lot of people's hearts. And he was very what a great man he was. So I'm sorry. Whew, I apologize. Sorry. He had a big impact in my life, and it been impacting a lot of people's lives. And it was it's great to share his words with you today. Thank you very much for being here, guys. I love every single one of you, and we'll see you guys in tomorrow's call. Bye bye.